Okay, so I'm sharing screen. We're all good with that. Now, we have George Foreman versus Joe Frazier, and this fight is incredible. Um, it's very short, very, very short fight. But I want to see
Mm.
what you see first, and then you tell me what you notice, and I'll try to see what we can do. And this is telling so much about your level. Are you ready?
Mm. Yeah, sure.
Okay. So first we'll watch it the first round all the way through, and that's all we're gonna do. We're not gonna do the second round because it was pretty much a blowout from the first round.
All
But
right.
let's see, right about here. Okay.
Okay.
We're close to the start of round one. Any second now, and we may have an interesting evening. Frazier, quite understandably, the favorite.
Mm.
Foreman comes out punching with the right. Frazier in his usual style. Smoking is the way he puts it. His job to get inside. His best weapon, the left hook. Foreman is vulnerable to the hook.
Correct. Joe Frazier's the one in white pants, correct?
When
Yes.
Joe fell back a little, there was a slip off balance. Historically, Frazier has not been a good first-round fighter. But historically, he has been a tremendous, tremendous fighter. A great champion. You saw the left hook land
Hands
on
down
Foreman.
from George.
That's what he'll be working on all night. Foreman would like to keep punching and keep Frazier away from him with his punches. Joe's job to get inside. Steadily use that left hook.
Mm.
Whip. Oh, Foreman connected, as you saw. He's a big, strong boy. He likens this fight to the same kind of problem he faced. There's another left by George. He's getting into Frazier's head. We'll find out tonight how much the Ali fight took out of Frazier, if anything. And we'll find out tonight just how good George Foreman is in punching and in taking a punch. I think he hurt Joe Frazier. I think Joe is hurt.
Oh, wow.
Angie Dundee, Ali's trainer, right next to me, is saying it. You may hear him.
Wait.
Down goes Frazier. Down goes
Yeah.
Frazier. Down goes Frazier. The heavyweight champion is taking the mandatory 8 count, and Foreman is as poised as can be in a neutral corner. He is as poised as can be. We have a minute left in this first round, and already this fight is proving out what some have expected. Oh, that left is getting in there. Underneath, Archie Moore is yelling to Foreman. We've got the excitement here that we look for. Frazier is dazed. He is getting hit again and again and again. The same head that was hit so often by Muhammad Ali. Frazier is dazed. You see the countdown for the first round. Foreman has not panicked. Foreman is going about his job. Foreman is all over Joe Frazier. Frazier is down again, and he may be. No, he is rising. He is game. He doesn't know where he is. The mandatory 8 count. He doesn't know where he is. Now the round is about to end. 2 knockdowns in the first round of Joe Frazier. Down again. No saving by the bell.
This is back when they had
Right.
Saved by the Bell, so he was able to get saved there, and he goes to the second round, gets knocked out.
Oh, dear.
Now,
Okay.
okay, what did you notice or see in this first round? What stuck out to you?
What stuck out to me at first was perhaps Frazier's activeness, his head movement. At the first half of the round, maybe he was a lot more active. He was able to sleep, able to move his head. He wasn't getting hit as much.
台湾啤酒，
什么啊？一下。
台湾
Oh, sorry, that's my dad. So, yeah, okay. Then I doesn't look like Frazier got hit that hard, but it seems like he took the damage from Foreman.
Yes.
And I guess Foreman doesn't look slow in comparison, but he was able to land surprisingly well, which rocked Frazier. That's what I noticed as much lah.
Okay. Yes.
Hmm.
Did you notice anything else or any specific moments?
Um, I remember the uppercut from that knocked him just now.
Of
Um,
course.
I just noticed his head movements, or maybe Frazier was able to clip him just now and his hands were down, but that's it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Joe Frazier's head movement, that's part of his classic style. And do you know that's why he got knocked out?
Mm,
The head
okay.
movement caused him to get knocked out, actually. And you can even
Right.
see exactly when George Foreman started to time it.
Mm.
So,
So he read him lah, basically.
sort of, he was the leader. And this fight teaches you a whole lot about tempo and about control and fundamentals. Very much like a chess game. Do you know the rules of chess? You know how to play chess?
I played chess, yes. I'm okay at chess.
So that's good. You know some things already. One of the like a really good thing to know is points is not as important as position, right? It's position over points.
Position over points.
Position over
Right.
points. If I could tell everyone in the world to write that down and look at that every morning when they wake up, I would tell them to brainwash themselves into understanding points is not as important. And remember, it's position over points. That doesn't mean that points don't matter. Don't
Right.
get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, okay? But points are not as important as position. When you focus on the points, it's just like when Bruce Lee was pointing.
Mm.
He was pointing at the moon, and he says, "Look," and he says, "Don't." He hits a student in the head. He says, "Don't look
Yeah,
at
I
my
know.
finger, or you'll miss all that heavenly glory."
Heavenly glory. Yeah, I know that one.
That is exactly what position over points means. So I want to show you, but
So wait, you're talking about points as in like where your opponent is at the current point in time. Was that what you're trying to say?
well, yes, yeah. So look, I'll show you exactly in a second. But first, I want to know: do you remember the very first thing that happened in the round?
I don't think so. I think I saw Frazier try to do head movement, but he got hit exactly as he tried to do. I think that's what I remember.
No, he actually they both come to the middle, but George Foreman runs to the middle. George Foreman's gonna run to the middle.
Have
Watch
an
this.
interesting
Look.
evening.
Oh, he jumped in, and then what does he do? Big
He's-
right hand. Look at this. Boom, and he kind of hits his arm, but he doesn't really. It's not a clean hit at all. And Joe Frazier's
yes.
like, whoa,
Quite understandably, the
right?
Yeah.
Joe Frazier's like, wow, you're starting kind of
Yes.
fast.
He sort of runs to the center and then steps right and gives a big right to the body, and then Frazier obviously reacts by like pouncing away. Yeah.
So now
Right.
he's bounced away. So we've already got a qualification here. We've got a position, right? Somebody's got the center, as you can see, and then he's on the outside. Now from this position, let's see what's going on. Let's see what George Foreman does. Is he really crazy? Is he just gonna attack? Let's see.
favorite Foreman comes out punching with the right. Frazier in his usual style. Smoking is the way he puts it. His job to get inside.
Okay. Now
Oh.
that's the first three interactions after he threw that big right hand. He put his hands on him without throwing a single punch.
Oh yeah. He sort of catches his right hand and then pivots away while positioning him.
Frazier quite
Yes.
understandably the favorite.
So watch, look at his hands here. This is what I love about YouTube. Look at this slow-mo, right? We can go frame by frame. And we see Joe Frazier, his choice was to immediately throw the big left hook. And if you know, Joe Frazier is known for his left hook, right?
Yeah, this is the gazelle punch, yes.
Yes.
Out
Boom! He came in. He landed on the arms because, George Foreman has his hands out. And he posts on his shoulder. He says,
Yeah.
okay. I see you trying to push forward and stay in the center as well. So I see what kind of game you're playing, right?
Frazier in the
And then he starts bobbing immediately because he's like, I see you're at zone 3, jab range. And that's not good for me. That's not good for me because look at how much taller he is.
Yeah, he has the length advantage, definitely. Yeah.
Right. Now, there's something else in this video. There's a secret thing that a lot of people don't know about Joe Frazier. Did you
Yeah.
notice anything about Joe Frazier and his punches in this whole round?
He doesn't punch straight, I guess. I mean, he's whenever I see him punch, maybe he's like putting his head to the side.
He tries to throw his right hand straight, yes, but he doesn't throw any jabs.
He doesn't throw any jabs, really. I didn't see that.
He
Okay.
doesn't throw a single jab. In fact, he's never thrown a single strong jab, like a real jab, in his entire career. Did you know that?
Really? Damn. I always focus on throwing jabs when I'm sparring. So
Yeah,
that's
it's
kind
really
of
good.
crazy. Yeah.
He has a different version of it that he kind of uses, but the reason why is because he physically cannot throw a fully extended jab.
I'm definitely not against Foreman here, I don't think.
Yeah, no. He physically can't because when he was a child,
Right.
he was torturing a boar in his yard. Right, his family owned a boar, and as a child, he tortured it and he would mess with it. But one day, the gate was open.
Right.
He didn't know the gate was open, so he pissed it off, and then it came out charging at him, and he ran. I think he was like 9 years old or something like that, and he ran,
damn.
and then he tripped, and his elbow hit a brick. His left
yeah.
elbow hit a brick really bad, really hard, and it broke it in a way that it didn't really reset right. So now he cannot fully extend his left arm straight out.
So he completely couldn't utilize the full reach of his left hand.
Yeah, since he was a child, he's never really. But also because his arm is stuck in that not fully extended. Like when he does extend it,
Right.
it's ready for the left hook.
That's why he's always good at that. Yeah.
Smoking Joe. So that's just
Right.
that's a good tidbit of info to have, right? But even if you don't know that, when you're fighting Joe Frazier, you can see his style, and you see that he moves his head, he bobs his head like this at zone 3, boom,
turn
right,
as you
boom. So you see how George Foreman double posts on him and pushes him back out.
usual style.
Says no,
Spoken is the
and then he says, "Oh, you're persistent. You're coming forward." So then he spins him. He says, "I'm going to go to the right."
way he puts it. His job
Stay in the center, and he tries to attack again. He says, "No."
to get inside as best.
Yeah, he
Right,
posts
he-
again and then pivots.
He's absolutely refusing.
In
Okay,
the left
so
hook.
now
Foreman is
here I saw an uppercut here. He posted on him. I saw an uppercut.
vulnerable to the.
Right.
Oh, the crowd was misled when Joe fell back.
Catch the
a little.
jab.
There was a slip off balance.
Okay, another turn, and the reason why and he gets in here, he does some work on the inside.
Historically,
And the reason why he's not really hitting him right now is because he hasn't timed him yet, but he's looking at him. So
I
now
see.
watch this, and let's see if you see the really important part right here. As he gets against the ropes here, right here. This is the really, really important part.
Frazier has not been a good first-round fighter. But historically, he has been a tremendous, tremendous fighter. A great champion.
Did you see that?
I saw like a feint into a punch and then the right, but I'm not sure what kind of punch it was.
Right. So here, Foreman throws 2 uppercuts, and he hits him. Right. This is the specific moment where he timed him. Right. Watch this. He hit him here. Look at that.
Ooh.
And then he hit him again.
Then boom.
Bam. Now, he caught the Smoking Joe. He caught the smoking left hook. He caught it. Yeah. Bam. And everyone in the crowd and the announcers were even like, "Oh, wow, he landed a big left hook." And I'm sitting here like, "Yo, Joe Frazier's in trouble." Right? Like,
They didn't
as soon as I
notice.
saw that,
Yeah.
you can
They didn't
score for
notice the 2
fans.
uppercuts.
Huh?
They didn't notice the 2 uppercuts. Is that it?
Yeah. They're super small, right? But they're very, deliberate. Right? So he landed 2
Yeah.
uppercuts,
But
Okay,
historically, he has been
and also if this is how I know that he's timing him, because look at what he did, right? He landed the jab before this. He finally landed a good jab, right about here,
Right.
But historically,
and then he disengaged.
has
Sorry, he
not
missed the
been a
jab.
good first
Boom,
round.
right? He landed the jab there, but he also sees him slipping, so he's like, okay, hold on. Oh,
Okay.
then he slipped
Okay.
that one, so he's like, okay, let's disengage.
But historically, he
Boom.
has been a
Now he's inviting him in again. He says, come in again.
tremendous fight.
And he threw that jab out there.
Ah.
Right after that, up.
A
Boom.
great champ.
He hit. He's like, okay, whatever. Let's get back into good position first. Walk forward. He didn't retreat. He didn't run away. He said no.
And you saw the left
Forward.
hook land on Foreman. That's what he'll be working on all night.
Ooh, this is a beautiful example of one of his good famous quotes. He talks about people talking about. I think someone was asking him, "What's the best thing you can do when you miss a punch?" And they were like, he was, the crowd and everybody, they were saying, "Put your hands up, guard yourself." And he said, "No. Put your hands on the opponent." Do you know why?
That way you can manipulate their hands or what?
So you can what? I'm sorry.
Manipulate their hands.
Yes, you want to manipulate them and control them, but think about it. You missed a punch. That means you don't know quite where this guy is. Otherwise, you would have hit him. So you need to find him.
So
You need to find him. Put hands on him. Right? Look. Bum. I missed. So not only does he put his hand on his opponent, but then look at his position. He was closer to the ropes. And now he's back in the center. What a brilliant move. Right?
So he misses 2 punches and then he basically pivots out while posting on him.
Right, like he turned that attack, like he found an attack, and then Joe Frazier was still able to kind of move, but he still has his timing because he turned that that missed attack into improved position.
Yeah, it's a good option.
And there's another thing to notice, and he's done it several times already, even since the very beginning. Is this move right here from Joe Frazier? See his hands, bam. He bangs them together. Do you know what this is called when he does this move? That's kind of like a nervous tick.
It's like a sign he's gonna attack, or is it just a tempo thing?
It's a rhythm step. Yes, it's called a rhythm step.
Yeah, I've done it a couple of times as like as a feint. Like I would bang my gloves together as a feint and then attack.
Good.
Yeah, seeing it here, but he's getting punished for it over here.
Yeah, he's not
That's
doing
the
it on
thing.
purpose. Yeah, it's almost like a nervous tick. He's addicted to it, right? He doesn't stop doing it. Even when he's getting destroyed, he's not using it as a feint. He's not like what I like to do is I'll bang my hands together, right? And then I'll feint like I'm about to go in really hard, like really hard. Yeah, I learned to do this from Barry Robinson. If you've ever seen his stuff, he talks about the rhythm step a lot. It's not that you can't do rhythm steps; it's that you don't do it like as a habit. You do it as an option, and with wisdom. You know what I mean?
Like a feinting option.
Yeah. Yeah, or it's a bait because sometimes when you rhythm step, people pick up on it and they actually attack you when you do it. My students usually attack you because I tell them to recognize it. Most people do it as a habit.
So rhythm steps are just anything that your opponent does that is part of their tempo or rhythm.
Yeah, no, it's a pointless move. It's a pointless move that doesn't give you anything, right? And you come out of your fighting position. Like watch. Here. He's in here. See, look, he's out of his fighting position. And he's
yes.
specifically not ready to fight right now until he does the rhythm step. You know what I mean? Now, after the rhythm step, look, now he's ready to move his head. Even then, he was a little late there, right? So, like, for example, most people, when they do the rhythm step, they put their feet together, they bang their hands, blah, blah, blah. Now, a lot of really, really good fighters, even today, they do it now. And they get away with it. Partially because a lot of people don't recognize it. Doesn't mean it's a good move. It just means that people aren't recognizing it. And second of all, some people are doing it correctly with their feet apart in their fighting stance, like Klitschko.
With their feet apart.
Yes.
So that you just recognize when he's vulnerable, and George basically capitalized on that.
Yes.
Right.
I'm not sure that Foreman saw this as a vulnerability. I think that he was more focused on the head movement and letting him use the head movement because he wants him to use the head movement because he wants him to try to land his stupid little hook so that he can time him and do what he did to him, as we saw. He hit him with that uppercut and dropped him. Right, so we can see. I'll narrate through even some more. Right, he saw it there, but then he was like, "Nah, this isn't so much of a good position." So maybe
Joe's job to get inside.
a little bit further.
Steadily use that left.
Now he landed that one. He timed them and he landed that one. Right, really, really good. We see up and down from Joe right here. Ready? Let's go. Down. So he touches, he says up, and then he already starts so that like when he's going up, his reflex is to go down. So if he goes down, he'll go into it. Boom. And you see, he did go down, but he already ate the uppercut.
Uppercut, yes.
Right? He pushed him off. Oh!
Oh, body.
This time he goes to the body, but look at the left hook up top. This is a sneaky one. Watch Joe Frazier's head. Boom.
Yeah.
Very sneaky. So instead he throws, he says, I see you're dipping up when I throw the uppercut. So he throws the uppercut, then he hits him up top.
So he's trying to... So Frazier dips down to try and catch the uppercut, but in doing so on the way up, he gets clipped by the hook.
Yes. Yes, he keeps dipping with his hands up. He has a certain style. And that's kind of what, tumbled him down this wormhole of bad decisions. Series of unfortunate events, So from there, he's hurt. Here, I was like, he's in big trouble. Some people saw it, like, oh man, it was a good punch, but it's still a fight. I'm like, bro, this is almost checkmate.
Oh, Foreman connected, as you saw. He's a big, strong boy. He likens this fight to the same kind of problem he faced. There's another left by George. He's getting into Frazier's head. We'll find out tonight how much the Ali fight took out of Frazier, if anything.
All right, he specifically look at how he walked forward right here and then stays still. He just hit him, right? He goes, boom, and he says, okay, sir, you have a choice. You can back up, or you can come forward and do your classic style. It's a 50-50, and both are bad choices.
Right. So he just pushes forward into that zone to wait for him to do something.
And he's not chasing him because remember, if you chase him now, you give him an opportunity to counter you.
Yes.
And start to make you overextend. So no. Look, see, he caught that jab with the greatest of ease. Very calm.
And we'll find out tonight just how
push
George
out.
Foreman is in punch.
Look at that. That's 3 times now. He's pushed him out. Very persistent. He says, no, do your bobbing thing. You're not doing the bobbing thing.
And in taking a punch.
Jab. There we go.
He hurt Joe
Boom. That's when he started attacking.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
I think Joe is hurt. And
Then he goes back
see,
to relying
you saw him bang his gloves together right after he caught that? Right? Boom. He said, ooh, right? Let me rhythm step and get it. I can't get hit by that again. I'm like, bro, your habits are killing you right now.
Yeah, yes. I see.
Dundee, Ali's trainer right next to me is saying it.
Right?
He
hit him on the way down. You see this? Look at that. He goes up and then he goes down. Boom. Into that. That's clearly what knocked him down.
Down goes Frazier. In a neutral corner.
Now, George Foreman goes after him, but he actually makes a decision too, as well, here. On the second knockdown here. So, let's see here.
As poised as can be. We have a minute left in this first round. And already this fight is proving out what some...
Now, you look at their distance. This is zone 2 now. This is Joe Frazier's distance.
Right.
So, maybe not the best idea for Foreman. Let's see what happens.
I've
Zone
expected.
2.
Oh, that left is getting in
He's still
there.
throwing.
Underneath.
Oh, he caught him.
Underneath, Archie Moore is yelling the
Come back to zone 2.
We've got
Oh,
Body.
he got caught.
Up.
He did get hit
Mm.
there.
the excitement
So let's see. He makes an adjustment.
here that we love.
Ooh, look at the head distance now. Right? Look at
Ah, yes. Yeah.
For.
Right.
this touch,
Frazier
touch.
is
Ooh,
saved. He is-
that was an ugly hook. Had him tumbling. And then he's going to counter again. Watch. Joe Frazier's going to try to hit him with the left hook this time.
Getting hit again.
Look at that.
He. Mm.
Just pulled right out. Boom. We're zone 3 distance. I might come into zone 2 with my head a little bit,
Again and again and again.
but we're gonna stay out here,
The same
right there.
hit
See,
that was hit
another
Right.
beautiful adjustment. I love that. A lot of people don't notice this kind of stuff because they're just looking at the knockdown, looking at the big punches and stuff like that. I'm looking at positions.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah, it's the small things.
Yeah.
Foreman basically noticed that he got clipped in that area and then started distancing properly.
That's right.
Foreman is going about his job. Foreman is all over Joe
Ooh.
Frazier.
It went down. He's almost spat on him, right? He's trying to tell him like, hey, stop. Like you can't just do that. You can't just do that. I'm bigger than you, taller than you. That's disrespectful, damn near. The way that he's doing. Like, you're just gonna keep bobbing your head in front of me, right?
Right. Yeah.
So all those things that we noticed here, it's really beautiful, really good to see and unfold in this way. But it only comes after you understand that principle that I told you: position over punches,
Mm.
and your fundamentals.
Yes.
So I said that this related to chess. Would you like to see how it directly relates to chess?
I would. I don't really see the connection yet. People always say boxing is like chess or something like
Yeah,
that. But even though I play chess, I don't see the direct correlation.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I have a game
Yeah.
for you then that I will show you on live chess here. Hopefully my window will be able to show it and everything. Do you see my window still?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, so I'm going to go to the analysis board here. And I'd like to put this, there we go, so that everyone can see. I'll expand this a little bit. All right. So you see my chessboard, and I'm going to show you a game called Opera Game. And the Opera Game is, what's his name? Mr. Murphy. I can't remember his first name right now, but his last name is
Right.
Murphy. He was playing a Duke something. I just know it was a Duke, a high ranking, member of ancient society, and this is, I can't remember, 100 years ago, 200 years ago, something like that.
Okay.
Very old game. Now, in this game, he invites Murphy to come and play with him, and he, oh man, this is so funny. So, Duke goes to the opera all the time. All the time, right? He sees operas all the time, and he's the high-ranking guy. Like, he doesn't care about the opera. He invited Murphy because Murphy's a chess player, and he's really interesting and intriguing and very strong at chess, so he wants to know, how does he play chess, right?
Right.
Murphy wants to watch the opera. Murphy's like, bro, stop. Come on, man. Like, the opera's on. Like, I want to see this. This is amazing. And then so the Duke busts out a chessboard and he says, no, come on, let's play. So he can't say no. I mean, come on. He can't say
It's
no.
a Duke.
It's the Duke, right? So he says to him, listen, we can play, but I'm not going to take my eyes off the opera. So just tell me what your move is, like E4, D5, whatever it is, and then I'll tell you what my move is. Got it?
Wow.
So this is like allegedly the first blind game, right?
That's very impressive.
Yes. So let's see this positional beauty of the game. Now Murphy was playing white, and he plays E4. Right?
Mhm.
This is a typical, king's pawn, and then Duke also plays the E file on E5.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Normal game. bust out a 9. Normal development. Okay, great.
Yep.
Now from here, already we have a little bit of a mistake. Not necessarily a mistake, but just I don't agree with it. He
Okay.
plays this pawn to defend this pawn right here.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I mean, come on, dude. I only have one piece out. What are you doing? Like, what are you looking for here? You think I'm just gonna take this? I'm not stupid, right? This kind of reminds me of when Foreman threw that big big
The
right
big-
hand. Even though he knew it would miss, he's just developing a piece. He's just taking center, controlling the center and developing a piece, and he's defending it. He went. Joe Frazier jumped back and threw a left hook, right?
Okay.
So with that, he actually improves his position with this. Boom.
Right.
Right? D4. So at this point, Duke decided to play G4 with the dark. I mean, G4
The bishop.
with the light colored bishop to pin this knight.
Yeah.
Now I don't know what kind of order he was thinking this was gonna go in, but like, this knight's chilling. He's not gonna take first here, obviously, and if you take him, he's just gonna take back. Like, this piece isn't really doing much for him right now. So pinning this doesn't really give you that much. So he goes ahead and he's like, all right, well, you want to play like that? Fine, here.
Takes.
If we get a take here with the pawn,
Pawn.
well, then we have the queen for queen, and the
Trade.
king will have to take. So now he can't castle. He loses castling rights, and then he continues development. Even if he doesn't take here, it's an even trade, but he loses a little bit. He loses a lot of tempo too. Right? So he decides to go here instead. Boom. Right?
Right.
Now Murphy takes back. Okay, here. Now we're fairly even. Right? We're even on points. But what's the difference? Right? Do you see a big difference here?
Yeah, the positional advantage.
Right. I have a big active piece. And you lost a piece, right? And you have a pawn in the middle, but your pieces are not active, other than this file being open. Right? So the next thing Murphy does, he plays here.
Bishop, yeah.
Right? You
Threatening
see
checkmate,
the checkmate threat?
Yes.
Right? Very quick. Do you know how would you defend this?
I would move the queen in front of the king.
You could do that right now, yes.
Or I'll push the bishop pawn.
Pushing this pawn is not the worst option. Let's probably still end up in the same result here. What happened was Duke played.
Yes.
Yes, Duke blocked it with this, so you take. Maybe able to get some tempo, but he doesn't have tempo. Remember, he does not really have tempo because he just did this as defense for a checkmate, not because he wanted to develop this piece.
Right.
So with tempo, Murphy's trying to end the game ASAP, right? Still trying to end the game. So watch here, boom. Right? He creates a battery immediately. Immediately creates this battery. It's where, if he makes the wrong move here, right, he does something stupid like, I don't know, here, right, I take, you must move, checkmate.
Oof.
Right? You
Yeah.
see? This is normal fundamentals, though. Right? So he didn't do this. He at least saw this, and he said, now I'm going to put the queen in front to get some extra security on this spot. You see, still no tempo.
Yeah, because it's all defensive moves.
Right. So now he does a great test tactic, develop a piece. Develop a new piece.
If he moves it up, then he can threaten the queen and knight also.
Yeah, well, yes. In theory, he could do that. Now, what Duke did, he didn't do the best option here, actually. He tries to go for points. Watch this. Boom. Right? From here, we continue to develop pieces, right? Instead of moving a pawn to try to fight for this spot up here, right? Moving up here, he takes this knight and he pins his bishop. He pins his bishop, right?
Okay.
So, you see all these different positions. What do you think the Duke is going for here?
he's just trying to play up his defense, I guess.
Yes, he wants to get he's playing defense right now, but then he wants to get rid of this really powerful battery. So
Yeah, he's big chat. Yeah.
right, he goes ahead and pushes this pawn up, and this was not a good move. This is not a good move. So he's gonna
Because he
lose.
ends in check. Yeah.
He's gonna end up in check, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he takes here, boom. He lost the point. Okay,
Yeah.
so he loses 3 points. Bam. And then he lost another point.
Mm.
Now, Duke won on points, did he not?
But he's lost in position.
He lost in position and tempo. And look at this side of the board. Look at how open. It's disgusting. It's just so bad for him.
Mm.
Super interesting to see this. But, like, it's almost like when Joe Frazier was trying to hit him with that left hook, and he smokes him against the ropes. But then he lost the tempo, and someone lost their timing. Right? Someone counted their timing, right? George Foreman counted his timing off.
Like even if Frazier got him nice with the left hook, Foreman was still able to land those two very important uppercuts.
Yes.
Mm.
Those 2 uppercuts, which he landed the hook, and then he ended up, getting pushed back, right? So he ends up against the ropes, remember? Ends up against the ropes, right? And so we continue, instead of just going for the checkmate, right? He's just like, all right, well, I need to add more pressure. So he castles, but not on this side, not defensively. He castles offensively.
Queen side.
That's right. You see that file? So he's adding pressure here. And he's like, well, let me relieve some of that pressure here.
Defend.
But, my friend, this is a hard pin, my friend. So he's gonna maintain the use of this pin, and he's gonna take with this rook and trade. Now this trade is not good at all for black. Do you know the reasons why?
So if he takes the knight,
Yes. Boom.
takes with the, and then let's say he takes. If he takes with the knight, he loses the queen. If he takes with the
Yes. He cannot take with the knight. He loses the queen. If he takes
takes
with the
with
queen,
the
he
rook.
loses the queen. He takes with the rook. He does. Boom.
Yes.
But now the rook is pinned.
Yes, I see.
The
Yeah.
rook is pinned, and I have another rook. Look, this was Murphy's next move. Bam.
Right. Yeah.
Right? So Murphy pulls some really amazing stuff here. This is so cool. His next move, I'm sorry, Duke's next move was a defensive one, but a little bit of a gamble.
Right.
So Duke moves his queen up one space here to e6 to threaten, to get off of this pin first of all, to unpin his knight, and also propose a queen trade.
Mm-hmm.
And but he didn't see that his choices were about to get taken away from him in a very big way. Do you see how?
Bishop takes, queen takes, rook takes.
Bishop takes, but queen doesn't take, because if queen takes, rook takes, right?
Yeah.
Bam, bam, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this is
So
a
knight
royal
takes.
fork, right? It's a royal fork. He's pinned both. I mean, he's checking both the queen and the king at the same time. So
Yeah.
he has this one. He goes ahead and takes with the knight.
Mm-hmm.
Now, from here, Murphy.
Oh, it's mate, yeah.
It's mate. You see it?
Yeah. Pretty much mate.
Where?
Uh
It's 2 moves.
okay, so queen checks, knight takes, rook goes up, and it's mate.
That's right. So queen
Yeah.
moves.
Yeah.
B8. He takes. And
Yep.
then there,
And
a
then knight.
big queen sacrifice.
Mm.
Boom.
And then the rook,
Checkmate.
yes.
He cannot move.
Yeah.
All
That's a good
blind.
game.
All blind, right?
That's really impressive. Yeah. Oh my
So
gosh.
this is what happens when you decide to challenge, a master while he's watching the opera game, right? So it just reminds me in so many ways what we had here, of good fundamentals, right? You see, he took the center first, and then he pushed hard, and yes, he might have, hit him here. Sorry,
Mhm.
around here, right?
Yep.
No, not there.
To keep Webb.
Shortly before this.
Joe's job to get
Right
White
there.
to keep punching and keep Frazier away from him with his punches. Joe's job to get
Man, this was
inside.
so fast
Steadily use that
for it to
left
happen
hook.
that quickly. It was
Joe
before this,
Gilman
though.
would like to keep punching. Foreman would like
Yeah, that
to
was the
keep
very
punching
beginning.
and keep Frazier away
Turns
from
him.
him with his punches.
And then
Joe's
he's backed
job
up
to get
here. He's
inside.
still checking his timing.
Steadily use that left hook.
Alright, uppercut. Push him off. That was the sneaky one.
Webb.
Oh, this is when he's already hurt him. Yeah.
Oh,
This is after he's
Yeah.
already timed him.
connected, as you saw.
It's actually after that. But anyway, you remember, right? So he was against the ropes and he landed that. But then at that point, he was able to check him and push him back and then make him make all these bad decisions to beat him based on position over punches.
Because he landed more clean punches and more significant ones.
But he landed him based on strategy, not just trying to hit you, not just trying to take your pieces. I'm trying to get a good position to finish you. To turn your favorite move into your worst enemy.
Right.
Joe Frazier's favorite move is to bob up and down. He doesn't have a jab. So you
Does have a strong jab, yeah.
fight him at zone 3 because he can't fully extend his arm. So physically, he does not have a real jab. So fight him at zone 3. But then, see what does he like to do? Oh, he likes to come in zone 2, bob his head. Okay, well, let's time that. Come in from zone 3, time it, boom, dynamite.
Yeah. I see.
This is the difference between fighting against your opponent and fighting with your opponent.
Right. Okay.
Right? You want to encourage them to be who they are, to do the things that they love to do, so that you can turn it into advantage for yourself and put on a beautiful performance.
So you are able to basically read what they're going to do and
Yes.
punish them. Right, I see.
Yes. This is, it's such a beautiful concept to see just illustrated here. Another film study you can see of this is Terrence Crawford versus Amir Khan. He was very sensitive, very, putting things out there and doing all these different techniques and moves. Crawford was, while Amir Khan was just trying to score on him and just trying to get the points and not the position. And then he gets knocked down in the first round. And people were wondering what the hell happened. And I'm like, he's been ignorant. He was ignoring, the signals from Crawford. And Crawford said, okay, well, you can ignore me if you want to, but now you get to knock yourself out. So
I see, yeah.
yeah, these types of concepts are super important, and they lead you to how you conduct your training after.
Yeah, and they're quite hard to spot unless they get, like you said, like the way you've explained it to me. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the first step of opening your eyes to seeing how everything is connected and why the best generals in the world play chess. Right?
Yeah.
That's what they do. So it's very, smart to go over these things. So from what I'm gathering here, I can see your level. You are a thinker. You're someone that thinks.
Yeah, I'm not the type to just how do you say, like rush into a fight
Yes.
just to score. I tend to prefer choosing like the safer options instead of throwing and then taking the chance.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes, that's very smart and it's very good. The danger, of course, is overthinking and waiting too much and
Yeah.
hesitating, which is, I'm a textbook overthinker. I was. And then I started to realize, well, some people would say that even as an overthinker, maybe I'm underthinking.
Yeah, I know how you feel.
Yeah. So it
Sometimes,
doesn't matter. You just embrace who you are, embrace the things that you're good and bad at, and then turn the bad things into advantage, and turn the good things into specialty, into something that really annoys people.
yes.
So this is generally the idea. This is what I share with people. Of course, I have so many different concepts. Like I usually use this fight to teach people about the 5 zones.
Right.
Jab
You
range
mentioned
is
the
zone
first
3,
3.
right? You know that one. But do you know the other ones?
You've only covered the first 3. I'm not sure about the other 2.
4 and 5. Yeah, 5 is like at the very beginning, right, where they're across the ring from each other.
Right.
And
Yeah.
then 4 is where they are kind of right now, where they're out of range, right? And they can easily step into jab range. So right about here is 4. And then this would
Right.
be 3. And as you see, George Foreman skipped that range. He jumped right into, boom, 2, zone 2. And he's communicating with him. He tells him, no zone 2 or I will clobber you. I'm going to clobber you at this range. And then from there, I knew that he's saying this because what did he follow up with? A bunch of disengagements.
Understandably,
Right.
the favorite Foreman comes out punching with the
Boom.
right.
No zone 2.
Frazier in his usual
Yeah, so basically he knows
style.
Joe Frazier's game and doesn't want to play
Yeah.
it, right?
Yeah, he's like, no, we're going to develop, we're going to play a natural game, and we're going to see what's going on. I'm not just going to, rush in. I do want to finish you, but I'm not just going to rush in without developing first, and I'm not going to let you take over the fight.
No, I think I see it. Yeah, I see it now. Because at the start of the game, or basically start of the match, right, you basically want to give him the mental idea that you can't do this or you can't do that, and by doing that, you're able to punish him when he tries to do other things.
Yes.
Mm.
This
I
is the
see, I
advantage
see.
of playing white in chess.
Start first.
Yeah. I mean, the game of chess has been the same for 1,300 years. I tell my students this all the time. 1,300 years. And before that, I think it was like an Indian game, something like Ganesh or something like that. And instead of
Yeah, I
horses,
think you're right.
they
You're
had
right.
elephants instead of horses and no bishops.
But it all started as like basically a mental game.
Yeah.
A
But
positional game.
in that whole time, we have recorded all these different games and done all this stuff. And in that whole time, white wins more than black. 1,000 years. 1,000 years of history in this game. White wins more than black. What does that tell you? Being first. You don't have to hit first. But being first is advantage. Being the boss.
Basically, in boxing, it's more like establishing your rhythm, like not playing to the other person's rhythm.
Right. Rhythm, timing, and tempo. That's another lesson that I have. That's the 3 definitions: rhythm, timing, and tempo. And gaining advantage. Those are 3. They're very similar words, but they are very different. And they play into each other. And then you have personality types. Understand different types of people so that you can break down who they are based on very small interactions.
If I could guess my next opponent's personality type, I would, but I have no idea.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, and you can learn it just from. I mean, my lesson on this, I at the end of the lesson I ask you a hypothetical question of like which of these 3 types am I, based on me reacting to one jab. And then you'll give me an answer, and okay, that's good, but you still haven't built a case. You still have to test more. But remember, if I react to a jab, that takes about 2 seconds, the whole interaction. You threw the jab, I reacted to the jab, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi.
Yep.
My guy, we have 180 seconds in the freaking round. Like, I'm watching you. I'm watching you, and everything I do, every little step that I take is a trap. It is something that I'm using to gauge your reaction, to see what you're doing next, so I can predict you and control your mind like a puppeteer.
Yeah, it's like I have engaged this because I know there's an invisible side to boxing and I'm not fully aware of it yet. So I'm just trying to like open up my view.
Yes,
Mm,
good.
I see.
Yes. So this is essentially, it's the first lesson, right? It's the tip of the iceberg of what I teach. I'm starting to get like a live schedule going to where I'm trying to do this type of lesson where it'd be me and you, but
Right.
also up to 30 or 40 other people in a room. And then
Right.
I would start the lesson and then pause and open up for questions, things like that. So that's what I'm trying to do with my school community, right? But I do a lot of private lessons. So I've got about, I think, 5 private students that I've never met, right? That I've never met. But you saw, that one guy, I did one lesson, one film study like this. I did one film study
Yeah.
and had a conversation with him, completely changed him.
Yeah, was it that reel where he got hit by the 1-2, then later on he managed to basically dominate his fight? Was that the one?
Yeah. It was 1
Mm.
week.
1 week,
It
yes,
was,
1
there
week.
was no real training or difference that you can make in 1 week of preparation to make you fight that differently. But you see his behavior, like if you saw the whole round, right? His whole round, he's like, disengaging, re-engaging, going in and out. The guy throws something, he's not sure what to do. And then I gave him direction. I said, listen, first of all, stop backing up. There's no reason to back. You attacked, and then you backed up, and the other guy didn't even throw nothing. You just wasted your time.
Yeah.
You wasted his time. You wasted everybody's time. Go in there, walk forward, and see what's going on.
Walk forward and see what's going on.
Yes.
Right.
Now, if he's attacking, do you have defense? Do you have catches, slips, and rolls? His catch was weak, so I just pointed it out. I was like, all right, look, your hand is here next to your cheek, and it needs to be where your thumb is kind of touching your nose. That way, when somebody throws a punch, your hand is actually there. Believe it or not, if your hand is on your cheek, I am fast enough, as several other people, we are fast enough to jab you before you bring your hand in front of your face.
Yeah, your real hand.
That's right. So I told him that. He said that's been working like crazy, but you saw the results as well. Stop backing up. You back up when that is the best choice, not because you just don't want to get hit. Because there's other ways to not get hit. You can catch, you can slip, you can parry, you can roll, you can duck, you can walk left and walk right.
But the issue is most beginners, maybe like people like me, sometimes we feel that we're not confident enough to perform those things yet. But obviously it's over time, and I've learned myself while training. I've trained a lot. I train like 4 or 5 times a week with maybe 1 or 2 sparrings each week. And I've been doing that since maybe February this year, consistently the whole year. So
Yes.
yeah, I was people say I've learned quite fast, but I guess I'm learning at a decent steady pace, and I see
Yes.
what you mean now.
Did you see Chavez Jr. versus Uriah Hall?
No, I don't think so. I didn't see this.
I haven't watched. I've only seen I saw some of the highlights. I only watched part of it. I don't like this fight that much. But I show this as an example. So even at the pro level, at the top level, Chavez Jr. is a world champion, right? He's one of the best in the world. Even if he's, if people talk shit about him, like he's still one of the best, right? So I want you to
Body
watch
shot?
a little bit of his behavior.
He's got to electrify this building, doesn't he? I mean, a points win.
Okay.
When he's out of gas.
Little better work here.
Gas is not able to get Uriah out of there.
You had to.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're gonna show it in the highlights. By the way, let me see.
Pitted back kicks. Ooh.
Wildcard Jim pulled out some kickboxing, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's and figured that Chavez would try to negate that.
He tries to throw here. Yep, that was one of them. So
Really, I didn't.
one of the best boxers, son of one of the best boxers of all time, and then this world champion is fighting Uriah Hall, a UFC and MMA fighter. He's not a boxer,
Yep.
and he comes in. What is he afraid of? Come on, look at this. Bum bum. All right, catches him.
Yeah.
Successful offense, puts him in a terrible position. Look at this.
Yeah, he's down while he's ready to throw.
Yeah, He's under him.
Mm.
And what did Chavez do? He backed up.
Mm.
He couldn't hit him here if he wanted to. He needs a steel chair to reach him here. Like, this is ridiculous.
We have to apply pressure and let his hands go.
So you're saying that he could have hit him there, like just now when he was down.
Yeah, if he was closer, right? If he had stayed in.
We're trying to negate that.
All right, let's get back
If
to
he's-
it. Boom. If he had stayed right here, boom, he would be on top
Yeah.
of him, posting on him like George Foreman did, right? And then hitting him. And it's not like, you know, oh, well, he corrected it. This fight lasted a lot longer, as you can see. It's a 8-minute
Yes.
freaking highlight reel. He won on points, I believe.
Hmm.
He didn't need to do that. He was fighting like a hyena. This is one of my 9 animal types. So I have breakdowns for all these different, you know, behavior types. But he was fighting like a hyena, right? He hit and run. He was hitting and run a lot in this fight. Hit and run. But there was no need to do that against this opponent.
Right, okay.
Maybe I'll take
I feel like if you threw like a hook and then... Sorry?
I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
If he followed up with another 2 here, he would have been clipped.
Yeah.
We have to apply
Yeah.
He would have hurt him. If he saw him, he could have hit him right in the tempo, in the temple, and that would have been a bad thing, you know. But that's just one clip that I remembered when you said that. It just kind of rang true in me. Don't think that it's just because you're a beginner or things like that. I'm talking professional boxers at the top. I've been over here in Asia. I've been, you know, back in America, of course, in Texas. I've been in camps with world champions. I've been over in 3 different countries here in Asia. Right? And it's a theme.
Right.
The theme is hit and don't get hit, but people confused it with hit and run away.
Yeah, correct.
So this is
I have
something
this-
to remember in your basic training.
Yeah, I have this sparring partner who used to always like combo. He would land maybe 2-3 hooks on me and then like back off with his hands out, like with a, like
Yeah.
he would back off a long distance and then I caught onto that and I just stepped forward and 1-2 and it landed quite clean.
Easy work.
Mm.
Easy work. But and this lines up as a principle now. So it's not about like, just one move or don't do this, don't do a 1-2 and then step back, right? It's generally defend yourself when you need to be defended. In chess, you don't, you don't defend the F6 square by moving like G7, whatever. Like, F5 square by moving G6. Like, you don't defend that square before it's time to defend it.
Yeah, you only defend when it's threatened, right?
When it's time that's right. Defend when it's time to defend. It's a chess principle, right? Stay forward and push your forwards as far as forward as you can safely, and don't defend until it needs to be defended.
Right, okay, I see. That's
Yeah. So I mean that was our film study. You got a little bonus at the end there. What I love to do, and this is what my mentor Kaizen does with me. Kaizen has been such an amazing guy. He taught me about 5 zones. He taught me about alligators, like some of the different animal types. He taught me about the rule of 3. That's a huge one.
right.
And what he does is every time we have a call or a review, he asks me, what are the top 3 things? What are the top 3 things that you got from today's study?
Right.
So that's what I ask you. What you got?
Well, I've picked up about positioning. I like at the end there where you like showed me about not defending for nothing, like not just moving back just because you're afraid, but moving back only when you have to, something like that. Also a bit more on zone's important. The positioning thing was important. George and Frazier. What did I learn from that?
I'm sorry?
Yeah, I'm thinking. Sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead. No worries. You have, you learn, the importance of positioning specifically. And remember, when you point out these 3 things, it could be anything that just stuck out to you. This helps me understand how you learn and the things that you see.
Okay. One more very important thing that I forgot was about stacking. Stacking, like you highlighted how you can stack your advantages or like stack your moves. Like at the start of the round when George took the center and then gave the big hook and then started trying to evade zone 2, trying to keep Frazier from doing what he wants to do. Basically sets up a mental block in Frazier's head to either break that cycle or play what George Foreman is trying to do. Basically stacking like things you can do at the start of the round.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes. Stacking up your like leading rather. You could say this is more so leading. Stacking kind of reminds me of piling up.
Sorry, give me a sec.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, no problem. You getting some food?
Okay, I'm back. Sorry.
It's okay. So stacking reminds me of piling up, which is what you saw Murphy doing when he moved his second rook over and he started piling up all that. Well, he started with the first rook, was piling up, and then the other guy reacted to it, and then he showed him that he has more. So
Yes.
that just reminded me of that. So that's two things that we had was just like leading the fight by starting off and being first, and then that rolling into the next thing. Now, what's the third thing, if you have one?
First thing was positioning. Second thing was not doing a move when you don't have to. And then the third thing was what I said just now.
Oh, okay.
The
so
third thing
that
was what I
the
said just
third.
now, yeah.
Third. Okay.
third
So
thing
the second
was-
thing was only defending when you need to and not. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then the third thing was obviously let me think, sorry, maybe
Yeah.
stacking up your options, not letting your opponent do what they want to do and kind of like manipulating their game plan. Yes. Yeah.
Good. Good.